welcome to another edition of Switch E-Story, where we x-ray issues, dissect and change the narrative through storytelling. Today we will be reading together a story titled Stand. I am Anu Akomolafe. Sweat broke out from her furrows. She had used different medications on the shelf, all to no avail. She was shivering and her head was pounding hard. Ayinke, we need to visit the hospital. I've tried my best, but perhaps it appears your condition is getting worse by the day. Ayinke's mother's voice trailed off. Tears welled up her eyes. How could this happen to her only child? She lost her husband when Ayinke was 5 years old, and she had been shouldering the responsibilities alone since then. Ayinke stared at her mother's tear-stained face. Her mother has always been her jewel, all through thick and thin, and she really wants to please her, but the thought of the hospital scares her. The strange sickness had held many captive. Worship centers were closed. How to survive is the only song on every lip. She remembered the doctor living few blocks away had been down with a strange illness for days without a medical cure in sight. "Alright, Mama, I will, if that will make you happy," she said faintly. Her mother gave her a weak smile before standing up to arrange for a vehicle that would take her to the hospital. On getting to the sitting room, the radio on the old dusty shelf kept humming. Ayinke went nearer to put it off, but the preacher's voice held her back. Prophet Samuel was an household name. It then dawned on her that it was actually Sunday, and since worship places were under lock and key, religious heads were now using traditional media and online mediums to reach their audiences. We all need to go back to God. It's a time to humble ourselves and seek the face of God. Let policymakers organize fasting and prayers in their states. It's a time to make things right with God. The pastor's voice echoed. Ayinke moved closer. This is not a time to make money from people's suffering. It is a time to pray for wisdom for our healthcare personnel, researchers, and scientists who are working day and night to come out with cure for the mysterious disease. Let our leaders stand for truth without deceit. The people will smile again. God will have mercy on the inhabitants. The doorbell rang, and the driver came in to convey Ayinke to the hospital. "Mercy, Lord, heal our land," was all Mama Ayinke could muster up courage to say. The special advisor rolled on his bed in the early hours of the morning. He slept late yesterday night due to the state emergency meeting with the governor that ended in the wee hours of the morning. He laid on the bed to catch a few hours sleep, but his head aches. The whole world was groaning. The mysterious disease was crippling economies with no end in sight. The deep baritone voice, talking with passion, drew him closer to his home theater. This must be Pastor Samuel's voice, he thought. Pastor Samuel went on and on, preaching about the need to take care of the masses during the pandemic. He chided those at the ends of affairs for not investing in the healthcare sector when they had the opportunity, and called for 3 days fasting and prayer for the Lord to heal the land. The special advisor angrily turned off the home theater. How dare he accuse the government of complacency? ESCO members have not slept since yesterday, thinking of how to rescue the state from the pandemic and its effects. The government's resources are overstretched, and the government kept borrowing to stay afloat. Is the pastor blaming the politicians when every day they receive lots of letters from their constituents whose source of livelihood has been lost to the pandemic? Where is the database to attend to all the poor in the land? He was just soliloquizing when his wife opened the bedroom door. "The food is ready, sweetie. Don't forget, you have a meeting to catch up with by 10, she said sweetly. She was, however, taken aback by the expression on his face. Chief Kola Olaowo was hypertensive, and the wife had always ensured that he avoids situations that can further increase his blood pressure. "What is the problem? Why are you hungry?" she stuttered. The special advisor narrated how the pastor has made it a point of duty to keep pointing out government inconsistencies when some of his colleagues have been patronizing the government and enjoying government benevolence. The phone kept on ringing, and she picked the call. Her face became pale. Tears trickled down her face freely as she fumbles for words of consolation. "Mama Ayinke, your child will not die. She's in safe hands. The Commissioner for Health and his team are working assiduously to ensure that lives are not lost to the pandemic." Her voice trailed away. Her husband held her and hugged her tightly. Mama Arike was a close family member, and she had suffered a lot since her husband died and she refused to remarry. Sweetie, I'll place the call through to the hospital. Nothing must happen to Ayinke, he said. That is the problem, she shouted. It's not just about Ayinke, for the countless people in her shoes, for homeless who have no means of protecting themselves, the poor people whose livelihood have been affected, for children who are supposed to be indoors but are hawking on the streets. For how long will the palliative sustain them? We just must get a cure for this, she managed to say with tear-stained eyes. The special advisor could not believe his ears. Our wife is beginning to sound just like that preacher. He sighed and dragged himself to the bathroom.